Ms. Kuster, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to start by commending you, Secretary McDonald, for the efforts that your team has done to settle the lawsuit out in West Los Angeles. We had a hearing yesterday in the Oversight and Investigation Committee, and we had a discussion about the steps that will be taken. A couple of things in follow-up, and I'll be working with our subcommittee chair, Mr. Kaufman, but one is we want to stay in very close touch with your team about the plan for the West LA facility, particularly addressing homelessness of veterans in West LA. And then we have suggested to have a follow-up hearing next fall when you come back with your report so that we can stay closely engaged with that.
We need to do that. I think what we demonstrated in West LA more than anything else is this is a team sport, and we all need to play together on the same team. And it's just silly to think that we have a national issue with veterans being homeless, and in the city with perhaps the largest homeless population in the country, we had a lawsuit going for 4 years that prohibited us from making progress.
Yeah, and the representative from the American Legion said it had been 30 years that they had been working on this problem, which obviously goes through a number of administrations. So
we got the land in 1880.
1888, yeah. I wanted to go to the opposite end of the country, to my district in New Hampshire, and talk briefly about the Veterans Choice Program. My colleagues in the Senate, Senator Ayotte and Senator Shaheen, have introduced a bill to make sure that the Veterans Choice Program, whatever happens elsewhere, will continue in the states that do not have a full-service VA hospital. This is critical for us because we've got folks that, and I know they don't travel the distances that my colleague Beto O'Rourke's constituents travel, but with weather and such, particularly of late, that's important. Can I ask about how the Veterans Choice Act is working in those states? And you mentioned briefly about hiring new physicians and medical personnel for filling the gap. I'm particularly interested in mental health provider shortage, and if you could comment on that, it'd be very helpful.
First of all, I want to make sure that we're clear that the leadership of VA believes that the system of the future will be a network of both VA and outside care. Already, we, in the last year, we did about 550 million appointments in outside care. That was up 48% above a year ago. So that's even before the choice program. So we're believers in that, because that's the way our veterans will get served the best. It was misinformation. There was never an intent to either gut the choice program or somehow eliminate the choice program. It was simply I was asking for recognition that we have 70 line items of budget that we can't move money from. Imagine your household. You have a checking account for gasoline. You have a checking account for groceries. The price of gasoline goes down by half. You're hungry, but you can't move the money from the gasoline account to the food account. Well, that's the situation I face. I'm trying to serve veterans, and I don't have the flexibility to do that. I ran a relatively large business. I have never, it's very hard to achieve customer satisfaction when you have all these strictures and restrictions on how you can take care of customers. So that was the only point I was making. The choice program is a good program. It's very early days. As I said, we've had nearly 500,000 calls and about 24,000 appointments, but we're going to be watching it very closely every single day. And we'll let you know.
Yeah, again, that's something that I would assume the Oversight Committee would want to stay in close.
We invited over, and I'll make this invitation to everyone, we invited over Congresswoman Brown, Congressman Chairman Miller. They came over, they went through our daily, we have something we call a daily stand-up. It's a Lean Six Sigma technique. We review the data from that day, and you make changes to the next day. Deputy Secretary Gibson leads it, and I would invite any member to come over and watch us do that. I would argue that it might give you confidence in the data that we're giving to you, and you can also see the trend lines.
Thank you very much. My time has expired.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr.